Hello, this is Liam from Flavor Studios, and I'm not in my room, I know, but yeah, I decided to film here because this was the place where I started making drastic changes for my channel. Not during the early year, but this was like back when it was BPM Entertainment. So yeah, that explains where we are. I can see an expedition there, but so yeah. So we're here to talk about the Miiverse story, how it affected my channel. Many of you voted for the many of you voted for the Miiverse flashbacks. I decided to just, do it my own way and just say the full story in particular. There's a slight chance I might have released it like on the exact moment Miiverse ended, which I did not capture, but I first saw its closure like 47 minutes after it ended. Here it ended at 6 a.m. I think on the 8th of November 2017, and like, to explain how much of a thing it was to me, it was like the true starting point of the channel before I even started. Like, that was where I got my first following on online, and yeah, if any of you are wondering what my Miiverse username was, obviously I've mentioned it many times before. It's BPM Ultra. I think in the last few weeks it was BPM Ultra Z. I don't know why I did that, but just had to. And back during that time, I was the channel was still called BPM Entertainment, or at least before it was a channel. I think it was a prototype. I'm guessing some of you would know what a prototype is. In other words, it was a concept of what this channel would become, and to explain the story, like, I started off, but in fact, my sister first created the account. It was back in 2014. Didn't use it. I don't think she posted anything. So yeah, I think that might have been a different account, but like, yeah, that's what I think. And to think about it, I've kind of forgotten most of it, but I started using Miiverse on the 27th of July, or June, I think it was June, probably July, 2017. And so yeah, I joined pretty late on in the in Miiverse's life, and I think the first post or reply I did, I think it was forgot what it was, but I know it's either on YouTube or Pokemon XY community, like that. The Pokemon XY community was one I usually posted on, so maybe if you posted on that before, I might remember you, kind of. Maybe you probably haven't heard of me before, Miiverse, but that was how I started off. It was mainly on the Pokemon XY community. Then I was on the Sun Moon community, and at the same time YouTube. And yeah, those were the ones I was most active in. I think I posted on other communities, sometimes Tomodachi Life, I think. But yeah, the person I mainly remember, I still have his friend code. Like that, it was the first friend I really made. In terms of friend codes, it was this guy. His username was J Crazer. He was named after a YouTuber who I don't remember watching any of his videos, but yeah. And yeah, he was doing a friend safari thing, and yeah, we I think did a few trades, and then did some. I'm not sure if we did any battles. I know we did battles like later on in Miiverse and after Miiverse, and yeah, that was why that was the first friend I made. And yeah, we traded friend codes without posting it on Miiverse, because you know Miiverse, like, I've got to say about the moderators, like, if the main bad guys from the channel's early months were a group, I won't say the name because I know I will probably get slaughtered on Twitter for that, but if they were if a group was the bad guys on Twitter, then the bad guys on Miiverse were the moderators. Those were, well, I don't know what they were on, but I remember, like, I think there was this video of this guy who had to drive all the way to Seattle to get a job as a Miiverse moderator, but then he got refused and had to drive all the way back. And yeah, that was kind of big news. He was living on the other side of the US. But to give you an example of how the moderators were like they enforce, they weren't always strict. But it was before I joined, probably before the update. But when more and more, I think, to say this, it was, if you've ever seen, like, I think Sirthouse did a video on Miiverse posts. They said about itself the weird ones. When those came about, Nintendo, they enforced some strict rules. I think it was like no friend code sharing. Like, you were able to be friends if you were on the Wii U, but on the 3DS, because we were there was this friend codes thing which we had to use, otherwise we wouldn't be able to trade friend codes. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to be friends. If you between two people, like, you weren't allowed to share those, and I think any they would take down any posts, even one that did not violate the rules, or if I was code of conduct on Miiverse, and yeah, any posts that didn't comply with that, which was pretty strict, enforcing it, even ones that didn't get that, like, they were taken down. I mean, remember, I think I did one crazy one of what would happen after Miiverse. Some guy gets angry, shuts up Nintendo. Yeah, that surprisingly stayed on a few weeks until they took it down. I think someone reported it. Like, I think it was, to think about it, if it was the moderators or it was just one person reporting it. I remember, like, testing it out. I reported one of J. Grace's posts, and with that, I tried it out. I criticized Nintendo, and I did not say anything was bad about the post. They still took it down. That was how bad it was. So yeah, that was why I would say I'd remember from the moderators. Like, guess it's not that was a big good explanation of that, but they were probably far more worse than I explained it. But yeah, so I think a couple of days later I came across my next friend. We didn't trade friend codes though, because moderators. But it was this person, his username was Lucario Man. He was the most important person in Miiverse, for me at least. Like, I don't think there was ever anyone who impacted my life far better than he did. He was, I think, some guy from New York. Like, he was mainly on the Splatoon community, but he occasionally posted on the X-Ray community. How we met was, I did a post, and it was, I still remember what the post was. It was, oh my god, I got. I put it on all caps. So yeah, that was how it was basically. But like, he said that he had 2 Zygarde already, and yeah. Then I said all of my legendaries, and he got crazy over that Deoxys. Yeah, Miiverse was pretty funny at sometimes, and he got crazy over the Deoxys, asking if I could trade. I said no, but we still became friends. We did not trade, I think, like, and then later, after Miiverse, obviously, like, I transferred it over to Old Sun, which was I failed to remember, I did a review on that. That was the exact same copy. I'm not sure if I forgot if I said about the Deoxys, or if I showed it. There should be a photo of it up on your screen. And yeah, we became friends. And yeah, he was, I will probably bring him up again later on. And then I was going on to it one day. I was in the middle of a cosplay where I was a gym leader, because I wanted to. And this thing which appeared on Miiverse's homepage on the 3DS one came up. It was announcement from the Nintendo of Europe. They said that they announced that Miiverse would be ending on 6 a.m. If you know the time I told you, but if you forgot, 6 a.m. 8th of November, I think it was a Wednesday, 2017. I was pretty shocked. I think, like, I later checked the American one, it was 10 p.m. on the 7th. And, like, yeah, I was pretty shocked that they were going to end it, although it was, like, nothing bad was happening to it, apart from the thing that, well, Nintendo wanted to focus on just making everyone buy the Switch. Like, oh my god, it's so great, oh my god, it's so great, please buy it, otherwise you have no life and you don't like Nintendo. I was not happy with that. Maybe that was how they were going to end it. I think it was like, wait a minute, I think I remember, like, seeing an interview from Reggie. He was, I'm guessing this was after the closure, but he said that he knows of the, it was back when they was COO, I think, of Nintendo of America, and he said that he was happy that the 3DS was still gaining sales, but he wishes that they would just move over to the to buying the Switch, which at the time there wasn't really any problems apart from the painful launch that happened during its early days. So yeah, now back to the Miiverse story. I was unhappy that Nintendo were doing this. So were many other people. Like, I'd like to think myself as as probably the person who took this more seriously. Like, I criticized Nintendo out in the open. I went full on, straight out attacked them. And to think. And I even criticized the Switch. I was like, I was using the hashtag #SaveMiiverse. I'm not sure if this was when they straight out announced it, but I think it was either at that time or it was from when I think someone else used hashtag #SaveMiiverse, and we have my posts. I think it was Pac-Man fan. Like, I still can't think of Black Pac-Man. That was literally what BPM stood for. It wasn't beats per minute. The reason why I changed it was because, you know, it was pretty much directed to pretty much music people who were more interested in, well, music. If I could try think, but yeah, I was going out all crazy. I remember one post which I later posted onto Miiverse in Action. It's a Reddit page which I am active in sometimes. So yeah, if you've seen that post, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. I used another hashtag, and there was a hashtag dicks out for Miiverse. Something was on my nose. And one thing that and like it was pretty much similar to the if I could think again, it was inspired by the dicks out for Harambe thing, which I think was a meme for a while. And yeah, that was something which existed. And yeah, like I did a few more of a posts, the Shut Up Nintendo post. That was, if there was a reply to one, it was and like, if I could try think again, and that was a reply to how to pay tribute to Miiverse ending, and it was like, sorry Switch, but you don't have Miiverse, you're crap now. That was the drawn on post, and it was and then for me it just got out straight, shut up the Nintendo thingy. That was bit overkill. I even knew that. There were a few other people that I remember. There was Chadika, I think she was 17 years old at the time. It said on her bio. And yeah, she was a drawer from Germany. She drew a lot. She had pretty good drawings. And then there was this other person, I forgot his name. It was, I think he did a post for me of Deoxys. Chadika did the same. I have to admit that one from the Mexican guy, I was far more, after I liked that. I won't say which one I liked most, but you could probably tell which one was bad quality. But yeah. So yeah, I think like, and but the thing was, later on, like Nintendo, they created this new community which was everybody's, I forgot what was, everybody's goodbye community. I think they said they were doing it for a collage. Because you'll probably tell what became. I think I did a few on that. One was pretty much the biggest one. I think like it's either on your screen or you'll probably just see it later on or in the description. And to say this, like, not many people wanted Miiverse to end. They were saying that in the Everybody's Message community. I remember seeing a few of them. There were some very good drawings on the community. Like, I think some people did some of Satoru Iwata, who was the president of Nintendo for a while, and yeah, the president at the time, he of Miiverse's closer, he was not really that good. I have to be honest with that. And yeah, remember that this was, if I could think again, like, oh crap, I forgot lot of it, but yeah, fast forward again. And they stopped doing the community thing, and they released they said that they'll do the collage in a couple of days or later on. And yeah, and like some people didn't know what it was, I think. And yeah, then they released the collage, and a lot of people were happy with it. And well, the Pokemon XY community, there was everyone. It was also on the Sun Moon community and Mega Ruby and Sapphire community. Everyone was getting hyped for the new Ultra Sun Ultra Moon release. That was, I think it was released a couple of days after Miiverse ended. I didn't get it until Christmas Day of 2017. And yeah, that was what that was something. And then later on, everyone was they did a new community, which I did not post anything in because it was for a game I didn't release. It was a new, they released a virtual console of the of Pokemon Gold and Silver. They didn't. I don't think they released Platinum until after Miiverse ended. I'm not sure, but yeah, that was I think the last virtual console before they ended. I'm not like, or at least the last one I remember. And yeah, then I think I did, and then on the last day, if I could think again, I keep saying think, yeah, if I could think, they did it was on the last day of Miiverse, and if it was the last night to say this, and yeah, I decided to film a Pokemon XY Adventures episode for that time, and I filmed it. It was on my old MP3 player, so I can't show you anything. I traded it in like back on July, and yeah, then like it was me playing Pokemon XY. I pointed out that Miiverse was ended. I showed Miiverse in its last hour. If I was back at 3 a.m. on the Devil's Hour, if you're a Christian, and I showed how it was. I think the administrators got rid of so many of my posts. I was actually banned from posting anything, but I could still show footage of it. And yeah, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to say was that on the 3rd of November, a couple of days before Miiverse ended, annoyingly, I was banned from posting anything. Don't know why. Probably because so many people kept reporting my posts for no reason. And yeah, and to go back to the night, and then I decided to stop filming for a while. So pretty big, and just so I could get some sleep. And then I promised I would wake up before Miiverse truly ended. Probably like last 15 minutes. That was what I was hoping for. Last 5 minutes. And yeah, I stopped recording, and then I overslept. I'm not sure what time it was, but I woke up, got my 2DS out, which was the same one I used for recording in the early era, so you could easily tell what that was. And yeah, it showed I was late, and when I got my MP3 player out, started recording, I checked if it was just I told everyone I was late, and I just missed it. Yeah, well, you could probably guess that feeling at I was devastated, not only because Miiverse ended and a chapter of my life ended, but also because, well, I missed the big thing I was waiting for. So that was the last thing I remembered from Miiverse. I went on a couple more times, but it was just for a while. But then later I decided to check if there was a way to post on Miiverse, and some crazy mad lad found out a way to still post, but it was using offline mode on the 3DS. He couldn't do it for the Wii U. So yeah, that was how it was basically. Like, I think I did some posts. I will put it up on the screen, hopefully, if I'm not lazy enough to edit. And yeah, that was pretty much how this thing was. So what was this, how did this affect my channel really? Well, it affected it in a lot of ways. Like, firstly, I managed to find out how it was to be on the on the internet, like out in the open, like, and then after, and then it also pretty much helped me change in a lot of ways, like helped me learn more ideas about life and less life lessons. Not everything lasts forever. Even the best stuff in life has to end at some point. And yeah, that's why I mean, that's one of the many ways that's changed me. My channel, it managed to help me, it inspired me to kind of get a feeling for how most people would be looking to be like on, yeah, to see on YouTube. Like, it was, I was kind of a bit outdated when I decided to start a channel. Like, I aimed for an American audience. Yes, I know. We got British audience. I was happy with that. Like, nothing bad, but yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much how it was. And then November 2018 started Miiverse Week. Some people have been with us during the early era would probably remember that. It was where I pretty much explained everything I said about, but yeah. It was also a couple of days before, you know, I joined Discord. So yeah, there's that. That'll be the end of this episode. We've been recording for a long time, and we've been recording for a long time. I really need to use a toilet, but there's no toilet near me. I might as well just end it now. So yeah, this is Leo from Flamefam Studios. This is goodbye for now. Rest in peace, Miiverse. Always have at least some acknowledgement in my life. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video or later on some point in on when you watch stuff on YouTube. So yeah, bye.